that's about it as far as gear goes and specs. Next I want to talk about maybe a few add-ons that I use in arenas. One of the add-ons I use, one main add-ons, is grid. I've got this set up too. I don't go really too in depth with it, unlike some people, but on my grid, basically, let me just bubble myself here. In the upper right hand corner, I have it show, this yellow square shows if the person has power word shield on them, and then also the gray box down there is if they have weakened soul. That helps me keep track of, especially in 3s and 5s when there's a lot going on, who can be bubbled, who has a bubble up, so you don't need to worry about rebubbling them and whatnot. So it really kind of helps in that aspect. In the top left corner, I also have an aggro box, which does work in PvP. I've had some people try and tell me it doesn't, but in 3s, if they make a quick switch, it will put a red box for target to target, and so you'll be able to pick up on the switch quickly. That helps a lot. Unfortunately, I can't really show too many action videos on my computer because, well, my computer's crap and I would lag a lot, unfortunately. Another add-on that I use is this one right here around my screen. It's called Interrupt Bar. It shows the cooldowns of pretty much all interrupts, counterspells, whatnot. It has Kick, the Lock Pet counterspell, Mage counterspell, Mind Freeze, the Feral thing. It's pretty much whenever you're in arenas, work on fake casting, get your cast bar to about half, and then cancel it. Hopefully they'll blow their counterspell, and if they do, or if you get counterspelled, for instance, the Mage one here, if it gets cast, it'll begin the cooldown of it, and then you'll always know if they have it up and if you need to fake a cast or if you're good to just heal away. That kind of leads me into my next point of one more add-on I have is Gladius. The Gladius down here, I keep it in the bottom corner here, kind of keep things straight. It shows enemy players, their cast bar, what class they are, their health. It'll show their percentage, and then also their mana. So that's a nice little add-on that you have. You can also have it set to, it'll announce when they trinket, so you know if they'll be able to be CC'd, and it's just really handy. To target the player, you just click on them, and if you were in an arena setting, just click on them and it'll target them. So it makes things pretty easy to keep track of. If you have your grid up here, you'll be able to keep track of who you're healing, who you're trying to keep up, and then as well as opposing healers, opposing just other players, whether they're mana burning or whatnot, so you need to LOS and kind of what's going on. So those are the add-ons I use for arenas. I feel, I don't want to say they're essential because I have done a lot of arenas without add-ons, but they definitely do help a lot. That kind of gets me to my next point, which is going to be kind of basic tips on arenas. I'm not sure how much time I've got going on here, but I'm sure I'm over, so this might be in the second video already. Basic tips. This is tough. This comes a lot with experience. When it comes to arenas, a lot of it is positioning and knowing every other class's mechanics, what they can do and what you need to watch out for, as well as keeping track of what cooldowns they have up. So it kind of takes a lot to keep in mind. As a healer, you pretty much want to learn to pillar hump. Learn it and love it. As you can see, I'm running here. I'm trying to find a pillar to kind of get my point across. This lag is just awesome. One thing you want to master as a healer is your fake casting. Let's get Gladius out of the way here. You need to fake cast in arenas if you want to be successful at it. Fake casting includes, say you're fighting a mage rogue team. You know the mage is sitting there waiting to counterspell you. It's not a secret what's going to happen. Most healers who aren't that great are just going to sit there and spam heal away and let themselves get counterspelled. However, what you're going to want to do in this situation is, especially this is where the interrupt bar comes in really handy. You see down here that the mage has his counterspell up. and you start casting, and then once you get about halfway, the key is to start casting when neither of you really need heals, in case he's just incredibly quick with the counterspell and does get it. But you want to start casting when neither of you really need the heals, and try and get him to blow his counterspell on you healing. So you do this, and then you stop it. Hopefully right now is he blows counterspell, and he wouldn't have it up. You'd be silenced for a few seconds, but then you'd have about 23 to just cast away and go to town healing yourself or your partner. Comes in really handy in arenas, especially. It's just a whole nother level of play from people who aren't struggling, still learning PvP, opposed to people who do PvP a lot and are successful in arenas. Another big thing you want to learn to do as discipline is to pillar hump. What I mean by this is, say this rock or the boxes in the Dalaran arena. You always want to be behind something, near something. If your partner needs heals, you just kind of strafe out, do what you gotta do, heal up, strafe back. You never want to get caught out in the open as a healer. I mean, there are a few times where it is acceptable. It depends on what comp you're fighting. Like, for instance, if it's a 2 melee DPS, and there's no real, you can't really LOS a warrior if it's on you and has a hamstring up. There's no real point to being near a box, especially if your partner's arranged and you're trying to, pretty much all you'd be doing is LOSing your partner, having him take the warrior out of LOS. So there are a few situations where you want to be out in the open, not really worry about line of sight. But for the most part, you're going to want to stick to something, especially if any range of DPS. You just want to kind of move around. Don't let them see you if at all possible. Another priest. Make sure you're going to want to win the mana burn war. It means they're going to try and mana burn you. You're going to try and mana burn them. LOS is your friend. If you can get the start on the mana burn and get one off, and then LOS theirs, you can hop back out and just keep going. LOS is definitely your friend, and that's probably one of the biggest things in arenas as a disciplined priest. You need to know how to LOS and how to position yourself, because if you get caught out of position, that's game. It's really touchy, and a lot of it comes with experience, because in turn you need to make sure your partner's not LOSing you. You're not LOSing your partner when he needs heals. So it's a pretty big thing. It takes a lot of practice and pretty much time between you and your partner to work out where you're going to be, where he's going to be, and how to coordinate between each other. The other thing is when you need to DPS. Discipline. If you're going to DPS, you have the Glyph of Smite. You always want to start off with a Holy Fire, and then just Smite spam. I mean, it's not going to do a whole lot of damage. You're not going to blow people's minds with how much damage, except for a 6k crit right there. But it comes in handy if, like, you CC their healer for 5 seconds. You got 5 seconds to burn down their other DPS. You just start spamming, and